Hey everybody, welcome back to the final scenario of the Angmar Awaken campaign. My name is Dave Walsh, host of Card Talk, and we are going to try to get through it right here. This is the Dread Realm. A lot is made of Karn Doom and the Karn Doom scenario and Karn Doom and Nightmare and how incredibly hard it is. The Dread Realm is only slightly less difficult than that, so we're gonna try to get through this. I want to introduce you to my heroes and some of the stuff that they have on them, and then we'll go through the setup and my hand, and then we will get started. So in this particular campaign, I'm playing Thranduil with the One Ring attached, and Thranduil has a great combat action that allows me to bring a Silvan in during the combat phase, and I don't need a resource match for that. So that's great to bring in Legolas or Haldir if I don't have Nenya in play, things like that. And the One Ring is really good to put on Thranduil because it doesn't do anything by itself, but allows me to play master cards in my hand. And with Thranduil having some defense that I need to use, it's great to use Inner Strength as the master card to use on him. So let's take a look at the other two heroes. Okay, for this scenario, I ended up finding Celeborn for sale. So I ended up finding the Alt Art Celeborn, and I've been looking for this. So I thought I would play him in this scenario, show him off a little bit. I don't like to buy alt arts and then not use them, so I love it. So I'm using Celeborn. Celeborn gives Silvans a +1/+1/+1 the first round they come into play, coupled with Galadriel, the alt art version of her. You can see signed by the designer Caleb Grace. When an ally comes into play the first round, they're in play, they do not exhaust to quest. So Galadriel is pretty powerful, coupled with Nenya. That's a great coupling. So I think that these two alt arts look sharp together. So I'm happy that they're hitting the play area here. The two leadership cards that I started with in my hand, there's Orphan on the right there. Orphan, when Orphan comes into play, I get to return a Sylvan ally that is in my discard pile into my hand. And then Power of Command there on the left is a master card, and I get to put that on Thranduil to give him more willpower. Silverthorn on the right there, which is a boon I earned. And so I can put that onto my brand new Celeborn. Excited to do that. It needs to be on an attacky thing, because after the attached hero attacks and destroys an enemy, and the enemy is put into the victory display, and that's once per game. So in this particular scenario, I have to pick an undead enemy and put it in the staging area, and then that will give Celeborn some attack to deal with, or extra attack to have. And then Nenya, love Nenya. Nenya goes on to Galadriel, gives her the lore resource icon, and allows me to add her willpower to some other questing character's willpower. And then the two events I have on the right, I have the Tree People, which I get to look for an ally in the top five cards of my deck. That's good because I have lots of allies, and then and put it into play. And then I have Host of the Galathrim, which is really good because I get to pull all my Silvans back up into my hand and then put them out onto the back onto the board and get their When Enters Play ability, gets their Celeborn bonus and their Galadriel buff. So there's lots of good things going on there. And then side 1A of the Catacombs of Karn Doom. Here we are. We're at the Dread Realm, and it says set Dakenar and the Altar of Midwinter aside out of play. So when they come into play, we'll take a look at them a little more closely. And it says each player reveals an encounter card from the top of the encounter deck, and each player reanimates the top card of his deck. So the top card of the deck, let's take a look at that. It says, when the Wraith of Karn Doom leaves play, attached to character in play counts as a sorcery attachment with the attached -1/-1/-1. If the attached character leaves play, return Wraith of Karn Doom to the staging area. Okay, so that looks like that's going to end up going on to maybe Galadriel. Okay, so this just has some flavor text and says reanimated dead are undead enemies with 2 threat, 2 attack, 2 defense, and 2 hit points. And they come into play engaged with me. Okay, so on the left is the campaign card. And it says each player may search their deck for a boon card and add it to their opening hand. Each hero can begin the game with the damage on them equal to the amount noted on them in the campaign log. So the Galadriel has 2, and Thranduil has 1. So I'm going to go find a boon, and then also the One Ring. During setup, I'm allowed to go find a master card and put that into play. And so I already had 1 master card, so I'm going to go find the defendy one. Okay, so the boon that I got because of the campaign card is the Heirloom of Earkon, and that's going to give me +1 willpower, and it's going to heal a hero when I put it on them. And I think that that's probably going to go on Galadriel. First, it's going to heal her, and secondly, it may cure that loss of willpower that I would get when the Wraith of Carn Dûm attaches to her. And then secondly, I went and found the Defendi Master card, and so it also has the added bonus of getting rid of a shadow effect if I want to. The last thing I wanted to do was show you Arnor Ravaged. Mine as well, right? We've done it every scenario. This thing has one damage token on it, so when I take a damage that doesn't kill a character, I have to take that damage and put it onto that character. So I got to be careful of how this works itself out, but that's fine. Okay, so I think we're ready to begin, and we'll take a tour of the play area, look at stuff, and then we'll get started. We have Arnor Ravaged up here, and we have the Wraith of Carn Dûm, obviously the encounter deck. I actually have been to Con of the Rings also since I started recording this. So Cardboard of the Rings was handing out these neat little tokens. So this is... it looks like Barad-dûr, so I'm going to use that as my threat counter here. We come over, we have the One Ring that's attached here so that we can tell what the active quest is. I have my threat counter. It's set to 25 because I had Fend Off Despair twice throughout the scenario. I have my willpower tracker, which I will use for this here. I have the things set aside that I need to have, and I have my deck. Okay, I do have Thranduil with the One Ring and Cunning, the boon Cunning, which gives him an extra couple of resources, and one time I get to give him +2/+2/+2, so that would be good. Some damage, and you'll notice these damage tokens are new. These were a gift. A listener listened to me, and I've had them for a while, but they actually look bright and pretty nice. So I'm going to use these damage tokens for this playthrough just to show you guys kind of the some of the things I have here, and then I guess we get to start here. So we'll do resources, and then I will draw and get started. So I drew a Nath Guide, which is a great card to draw. I love that I got this first thing. I'll be able to do some questing, and I just like this. So I'm going to put Silverthorn onto Celeborn. I'm going to put the Heirloom of Earkon onto Galadriel. And by doing that, I heal her. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring her in. I'm going to bring the Nath Guide into play. I'll spend 2. And then I'm going to tree people. I'm going to target Celeborn with the Nath Guide. So Nath Guide comes back into my hand. I'm going to play the Tree People and hope to find something really good here. I think I'll pick the Sylvan Tracker just to have healing on the board. The Sylvan Tracker is great because of that response. He's hardy at 3 hit points, so you can defend some things maybe. Who knows? But when a Sylvan readies, you get to take a damage off of something. So sign me up. Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to play Nenya. So I'll play Nenya now. I should have played Nenya earlier because I wouldn't have been able to play the Tree People without Nenya. So I need the resource match that Nenya gives me. I will do this, and then I think the thing to do is to play both Inner Strength and Power of Command onto Celeborn, or onto Thranduil. That's good. Okay, so this is 2, and he doesn't exhaust, so that's 5. So I'm questing for 5 right now. 5 versus 2 in the staging area. Okay. I need 2 defenses as well. See, this has 18. Says 18 engagement cost, so I'm a little nervous. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Okay, so the Witch of Angmar is undead. It's 26 engagement cost, but 3 threat. So I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways, it says when you receive a shadow card, when you resolve a shadow card that has a sorcery trait, resolve that when revealed effect. And so that's a pain in the neck. But it has 3 threat, and that's an even worse pain in the neck. Okay. Okay, so there's 5 in the staging area. And without doing anything, I quested for 5. I'm not going to trigger Galadriel. I'm not going to trigger Nenya with Galadriel. Now's not the time for that. I think I'm going to actually lower my threat and draw a card at this point. And I get Hanamarth River Song. Hanamarth is great because I can exhaust him to look at the top card of the encounter deck. And so I can basically, in solo play, it's telling me exactly what's coming up. And it allows me a little bit of time to deal with the encounter deck. So I like that. So now engagement checks. This guy comes down. This guy's going to stay up there. So I have 2 defenses to worry about. So higher engagement cost first. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm going to take this undefended, I think. Okay. So take that undefended. It says attacking enemy either gets +3 attack or +3 defense. Okay, well, plus that's losing time, so that's a good place to see that burden, but I'll give it +3 defense, so I guess I'm not killing this guy. Okay, and this guy I will defend here with Thranduil. Thranduil has 4 defense, and I can raise my threat to cancel a shadow card, and there's no shadow. Okay, so now I need to be able to do 5 damage. Okay, to kill this thing. And unfortunately, right now, I do not have the ability to do 5 damage. I can do 4. So I'll do... Oh, look. I have to take 2 undefended. So I have to put 2 here. So I'm going to do 4 damage. And it goes on to the Wraith. Okay. Okay, I can't really do anything else. So I am going to leave these guys in the stage. Oh, this guy, because I took 2 damage, this guy takes a 3rd. So now I'm going to ready and ready. So that removes the damage. Ready, that removes the damage. And then I get resources. Okay, I just drew the Elven King, which is a great card. It allows me to ready. I don't know if I'm going to need an extra defender, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it on to my extra defender, or I can use it as an extra attacker, I guess. But, I mean, if I put it on Celeborn, I could use his ability to attack and defend. But I feel like it needs, the Elven King is actually Thranduil, so I think it needs to go on to Thranduil. Okay, I'm going to bring out Henamarth, and then I'm going to bring out the Nath Guide. So I'm going to leave the Elven King in my hand for right now because I think having allies on the board right now is what I need to have. Okay, so, and I'm not going to use Henamarth's ability this turn because 2 willpower is too good to give up. Oh, I forgot to raise my threat. Okay, so I'm at 25 threat, which is under this. Okay, so I'm going to quest 2, 4, and then 5, 8. So I'm questing for 8, and there's 3 in the staging area. Okay, so, and hopefully I don't need to use Gladriel, and I can still use her to draw and lower my threat. So I get the Dwemer Lake. I love the art on this card. I'm drawn to it. It's a 34 engagement cost, which is good, but 4 threat is crazy, and 5 attack. And it says, after Dwemer Lake attacks and destroys a character, the defending player reanimates that character and deals it 1 shadow card. Ugh. Okay, so 5 attack is a lot. But fortunately, I don't have to engage it, but 4... 4 threat in the staging area is a ton. Okay, so the Dwemer Lake and this guy, so we're at 7 in the staging area, and I did 8, so that's 1 progress. Okay. So look, I'm going to lower my threat, draw a card, and I get a test of will. I'd show you that, but I think everybody in the game knows what a test of will is. Let's see. I'm not going to pull anything out of the staging area. I have too much here. So I'm going to do this and this. I'll defend for 4, this guy. And it says attacking against plus X, where X is the number of sorcery cards in play. So that's plus 1. There's only 1 sorcery card in play, right? Oh, no. No sorcery cards in play, right? That's not a sorcery yet. Okay, so that's plus 0. Good. Okay, so no damage here. Then I'm going to take this undefended, I guess. Here, let's see. Each undead enemy engaged with you gets plus 1 attack and plus 1 defense until the end of the round. So that's plus 3. Okay, so that's plus 1 for this guy. Okay, so he does 3 damage to somebody, which in this case is going to be... Oh, I can't cancel that shadow effect. Okay. Because that has an attack to hero. Okay, so look, this is 1 defense. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 1 defense with 1 hit point. So I need 2. Okay, so I'll use this Nath Guide and kill this guy. 1, 2, 3. So this guy's dead. But even if I used Celeborn to send this, it would still come out of the victory display and attach. And it says, attach it to a character in play. So that character is going to be Galadriel, because I don't want the Wraith of Cardoon coming back into play. So Galadriel now has, all it does is lower her willpower by 1, so now she has just 4 willpower. Good. Okay, and now I need to be able to do 5 damage here. So I'm going to do 2, 3, 4. So that's a bummer, but I'm getting somewhere. Okay, I get an island amid perils, which allows me to reduce my threat. Not the worst thing yet. Now I'm going to take and put the Elven King onto Thranduil. So look, Thranduil gets his own special place here. So now it's like I can quest and I can do stuff with Thranduil. Okay, so that's one resource. Okay. So I'm going to use Henemarth to look at the top card of the deck. And the top card of the deck is a sorcery. And so that dark sorcery is actually pretty good. So when it's time, we'll go over this. So I just need to do 7. Okay. So this is going to be the struggle here. But I want to try to kill this, and then I want to try to deal with that. I don't know. So I'm going to have 7 in the staging area that I have to deal with. So I can do 2, 4, no, 2. And I think what I'm going to do here, because that's Doom 2, that's going to bring me up to 27. I can probably do this. So look, I'm going to exhaust, let's see. What if I do, so that's 2, 3. Okay. 3, 4, 8. Okay. So let's look and see what the Dark Sorcery does. Okay, so Dark Sorcery is Doom 2. It says each player discards each ally he controls that has the same title as a card in his discard pile. So I don't have any allies in my discard pile. So right now, that seems to be all right. Okay, so Doom 2 brings me up to 27. And then I'm going to exhaust Nenya and Galadriel to bring me up to 8. So I have 8 versus 7. Okay, so that's 2. So I'm at 27. Total bummer. But okay. I will bring this Wraith down. Okay. So deal shadow cards. I need to be able to get some stuff here. I should have put Elven King onto Celeborn. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to defend this guy because I want to be able to cancel the shadow. Okay. Nothing. Okay. So no damage. And then, let's see. I'm going to bring, let's see, who do I want to bring up into my hand? Do I want to bring the Neath Guide, or do I want to bring Henamarth? I think I'm going to bring Henamarth into my hand, and then I will defend this. It's for 2. Side quest. It's a great place to see a side quest. Okay, so no damage. So now I need to be able to do some amount of damage. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to bring Henamarth back out into play using Thranduil's combat ability. That's right, you heard it here, folks. Then I'm going to do 2, 3, and that's going to kill this thing. Now, okay, so this guy stays engaged with me, which I don't love, but that's the way it's going to work, and I will ready. Okay, so I get a Greenwood Archer. This is where I could really go for some resource acceleration. Okay, I'm going to bring out the Greenwood Archer. So let's see what he does. Okay, so the Greenwood Archer is ranged, and it says after it enters play, ready a hero. Actually, I think I'm going to use him. Normally I use the Greenwood Archer to use Galadriel's ability. And then ready Galadriel so I can quest with her. Let's see what the top card of the deck is, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna exhaust Henamarth to look at the top card of the encounter deck. Seal the Tomb. So it says, at the end of the refresh phase, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, return the undead enemy in the encounter deck. So I need to get through that. So I'm going to do 4 here. And then I think, let's see, all I need to do is a little more. I just need to do more than, I just need to do 4. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to exhaust Galadriel to lower my threat and draw a card. Okay, and I get Rumel. That's phenomenal. This is where having resource acceleration would be wonderful. Okay, and then I'm going to use 2 here to play the Greenwood Archer. And let's see. I need to make a little space here. I'll move this stuff over here. Okay, I'm at 27. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I just need to do more than this. Okay, so I'm going to do 1, and then I'm going to, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do 1, 5. So I'm doing 5 right now. Okay, so Seal the Tomb. It's Surgy. Oh, yeah, Surge. Okay, well, what do I get? I get Terror of the North. Okay, Terror of the North says, when revealed, each player discards the top 3 cards of his deck. Until the end of the round, add 2 to the total threat in the staging area for each different card type. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna test of will that. Boom. So I have 5 versus 4. Okay, there's that. And now I'm going to deal a shadow card to this guy. Is this... There's no guarantee. I could get a... Who knows what I'm going to get. Okay, well, I'm going to defend with this, with him. Attacking it gets +1. or +2. It doesn't matter. Cursed Dead now is the top undead enemy. Okay, and then I'm going to do 2, 5, 6, and that kills this, and I'm sending it to the victory display. So I'm going to put the victory display up here. Okay, it's good. And now I can refresh. That heals Thranduil. Okay, and now I go 1, 2, 3, and I take the topmost and I add it to the staging area. Okay, so that in that case is just a Cursed Dead. Okay, it's just a Cursed Dead. That's all it is. Get some this. Now I'm going to draw a card, and I get Quicker Than Sight, which gets rid of shadow cards. It's one of those 0 cost things. I'm going to look at the top card of the encounter deck, and it's another one of those Wraiths of Karn Doom. So I'm going to make that. I just have to remind myself that I'm making that the active quest. And okay, I'm going to bring out Orphan. I feel like that's the best move I have. So that's 3. So there's going to be 7 in the staging area, right? 5, 6, 7. Okay, so can I get up to 13? Let's see, 3, 4, 5. Five. Six, 7. 8, 9, 10. 10. 9. So I'll do 13. Okay. So I just made this math the game, but that's okay. So I did 13. Let me make sure that that's right here. So 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 13. Okay, good. Now these two things come out, right? Yes. And now I will exhaust the Elven King to ready here. I will bring this guy up into my hand. And now I will do 1, 2. This guy is attacking for 3. Who can I defend with? I'll do this guy first here. I'll defend for this. No shadow. Okay, great. Okay. And now this guy's attacking for 3. Am I going to take something undefended? No, I will use the Sylvan Tracker to defend this thing. It says, discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck, resolve the when revealed of each sorcery. Okay. And neither one of them are sorceries, so that's a whiff, which is nice. Okay, so I can do 3. That's going to kill this thing. 3, 4, 5. That kills this, actually, and I will put this into I'll put this Wraith of Carn-Dûm onto Galadriel. Okay, good job, Galadriel. So Galadriel is only worth 3 right now. Okay, so now we will... Oh, I was able to get through this. Thank goodness. My threat. Ready, everybody. I get Steward of Gondor. I won't zoom in on that because I think everybody knows what that is. I've been waiting for that. Okay, that's nice. So I'm going to put that on Celeborn. He can be the steward. I'm going to exhaust it, so I get 2 resources there. That makes me feel good about being able to kill some things at least. Let's see. Nenya's readied. Okay. I'm going to use 1 to get rid of this guy, put this in here. Okay. I readied the Sylvan Tracker. So now, what can we do? At some point, I'm going to lower my threat by bringing this guy back into my hand. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use his ability to look. This is more important to be able to look. Oh my god. That's the Unholy Crypt. It says the Unholy Crypt gets +1 threat for each reanimated dead in play. So right now there's no reanimated dead, so that's a good time to get rid of it. But it's got 7 quest points, so that's going to be hard to get over. So I do 2, 4, 2, 4, and I will. You know what? I'm gonna quest with him for 2. So I did 2, 4, 6, and there's 5 in the staging area. It's +1, so I'm at 4, and I'm going to use Galadriel to lower my threat. Draw a card. When I draw a card, I get another Nath Guide, which is good news. I'm going to travel to the Unholy Crypt. It's a good place for it. I still can't do anything with this guy. I can defend it, but I don't want to be able to attack it. Okay, 3 defense. And this is attacking for 3. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Celeborn. Celeborn's defending for 3, believe it or not. Well, we'll see what happens here. Okay, Celeborn is defending for 3. Undead. There's an undead up there. Good. Okay. If the attack destroys a character, it does not. Okay. So now, do I keep that guy out there? I think I'm just going to attack that for 2. Before the end of the round, I'm going to pull this back up and lower my threat to 3 by 3, 25. So now, ready everything. Oh, I get a marksman. Okay, I feel like we're shaping up here. Okay, I'm going to use 2, and I'm going to pick Celeborn here. And then I'm going to pick, let's see, another 3 for Orifin. And then I think I'm in a good place here. Okay, so I'll look at the top card of the deck. I wish I had a way to get rid of that, but I'm going to end up reanimating a whole bunch of cards. Well, we'll take a look at Death and Calamity here. Okay, Death and Calamity says, when revealed, attach Death and Calamity to the current quest. Then the first player reanimates the top X cards of his deck, where X is the number of copies of Death and Calamity in play. Well, right now there's just one, but there can be a lot at some point. The Nath Guide targeted Celeborn. I want to try to get through this. There's only 4 here, so let's see. I can do, 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. That's 9. And then, so I'm like 2 short of clearing the quest. So I'm at 9, right? 2, 4, 5, 6, 9. I'm just going to use Galadriel. Okay, so Death and Calamity comes out. That gets attached to the main quest. Okay, and then I reanimate. Okay, so now I'm going to use Galadriel with Nenya. So that's only 3. 1, 2, 3, 12. So that gets rid of this, though. And I'm able to put a progress here. And now I will deal shadow cards. I want to engage this guy. I don't think so. I think I need to do something else more important here. So that's 4. So I'm defending for 4. So I will defend this guy for 4. Okay, each undead enemy gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Okay, well, so he attacked for 3. Okay, and this guy's attacking for 4. Okay, I'll do this. It's another death and attacking plus X, where X is the number of sorcery cards in play. So I'm going to use Quicker Than Sight, which cancels a shadow effect by pulling something back up into my hand. So I'm going to pull this guy back. You know what? Maybe I'll pull the Nath Guide back up into my hand. Okay. So that cancels this shadow because there's a lot of sorcery cards. There's 3 sorcery cards in play. These 2 count as a sorcery. So that'd be +3. So this guy would be attacking for 7, and he would be dead. So that's that's not good. But he already attacked for 4, so that's that. Okay, and now I'm going to use this here. 1, 2, 3. Thranduil's combat action. So now I can attack for 4 and kill. 4, 6, and kill this. It's a Nath Guide, and then I can go for 3, 5, and kill this. Okay. Okay, I get a Handmaiden. Okay, it says after Galadriel's Handmaiden enters play, choose a player, reduce that player's threat by 1. So this is great for me right now, because I'm going to want to lower my threat here. So I'm going to get resources. This guy healed because of the Sylvan Tracker. Sylvan Tracker does a lot of heavy lifting. Okay. Play the Nath Guide and use it for Celeborn. I'll exhaust. Okay, there's a location. Okay, so right now I'm doing 5. There's 6. I'll have 6 in the thing. Okay. This is Dark Halls. Just says that while it's in the staging area, each reanimated dead gets +1 attack and +1 defense. Okay, so I have 5 right now. So I can do 6, 7, 8, 9. Is now the time? Is now the time to try to kill this guy? So how much am I? I did 2, 3, 5, 6, 9 here. I'm up to 9, and I'm going to quest with Thranduil too for 11. 11, okay. So now I'm going to bring this out. That's 11, and then +3 more. So that's 14 versus 6, so that's 8. So this is where I'm going to bring out these. I love the denominated tokens. So right now we're at 13 versus 18 on the quest, so that makes life a little easier to. That's all right here. Okay, I'm going to travel to the Dark Halls. It's 2 threat with 4 quest points. Okay. And now I'm going to engage this guy. And look, I'm going to ready Thranduil with the Elven King by bringing Orphan back into my hand. I know that sounds crazy, but look, I'm going to play Orphan now for 3. And that allows me to bring the Nath Guide, this 3rd Nath Guide into my hand, which is great. I probably should have done that a little differently, but I'm able to do some good things now. So now this guy's attacking for 5. He's attacking for 4, and I can boost and get rid of a shadow effect if I need to. No shadow. Okay. So now he does 1 damage, which is fine. And now I'm going to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this guy goes goodbye. I'm so happy I have this Celeborn. I've been looking for this alt art Celeborn for so long. It looks like a spirit card, like it does, because like usually the color palette kind of matches, and so, but it's definitely leadership. But I love it. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a card, and I get another marksman, which is great. Okay. So I'm going to put this Nath Guide into play for 2. And now that's going to target Celeborn. I only need to do, let's see. Well, I don't have anything in the staging area. Okay, I forgot to raise my threat. So it's good. I'm going to see what I have. Oh, I have a sorcery. Destroy the highest cost ally in play. What's my highest cost ally? Okay, my highest cost ally is Marksman. Or maybe Orphan. It's one of these two. So, okay. Well, I'm not going to have any enemies. So, okay. Well, let's do this. So I need to do 5, 9. Okay. So that's 2, 5. now I need to do I'll do like this. Okay, so 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all I have to do is 9. And then I'll be able to use Galadriel to draw a card and reduce my threat. So actually, which I will do right now, I'll draw a card. Oh, and I get Determination, which is great because, and let's take a look at it. So Determination is great because I get to ready a whole bunch of people. Not only do I get to ready anybody with Determination on it, but I also get to ready people who have been determined in my campaign up to this point, which in this case is Thranduil and Celeborn. And then Marthiel also had Determination, but he's not in this scenario. So pretty stoked that I get group readying here. That's pretty cool. Okay, so possession comes into play. Oh, you know what I did? I'm an idiot. Hold on a second. I still haven't committed. I'm going to pick this person, and because that comes into play, this guy is going to end up... I'll pick this one. Anyways, okay. So, possession, doomed 1. I raise my threat by 1. So I'm at 28 threat. Okay, and it says this goes into play on the highest cost ally, which is this guy. So now I have done, let's see, a whole bunch. I've done 9, so that's 4. So now we pause and we look and see what the next quest card has in store. So side 2A says, add Dakenar to the staging area, make Altar of Midwinter the active location, returning any previously active location to the staging area. Each player reanimates the top card of his deck. I forgot to show here that it says on 1B, it says when the players advance to stage 2, all the sorcery cards attached to this stage are attached to stage 2B. So Death and Calamity stays attached. So let's take a look at Dakenar and the Altar of Midwinter. Okay, so it says, while the Altar of Midwinter, while Dakenar is in play, progress cannot be placed on the Altar of Midwinter. And it says, at the end of the staging step, the first player must either reveal 1 additional card or reanimate the top card of his deck. So I need to get rid of Dakenar quick, but it then Dakenar gets +1 for each sorcery card in play, and gains indestructible while at least 1 sorcery card is in play. It says while Dakenar is when Dakenar is damaged, if there is at least 1 sorcery card in play, cancel all damage and remove the sorcery card from the game. Let's say remove a sorcery card from the game. Okay. So I have 3 sorcery. Well, actually, I have 4 sorcery cards right now, but so I need to really make sure that I get Dakenar out of here. I need to do damage on him pretty badly. Okay, and then it says reanimated dead. You get Dakenar is defeated, advance to the next stage. There are some ways to kind of cheese this a little bit. You can attack Dakenar multiple times if you had like hands upon the bow and things like that. But I don't think this is gonna turn out so good. But we'll see what happens. Okay. So this guy's coming down too. Okay, so I have 3 enemies to worry about. Okay, so we're going to start with 1, and then 0, 0. Okay, so I am going to defend Angmar here. He's he's stacking for 8. So look, I can do this. This guy's defending for 4 right now. So let's do this. Okay, no shadow. I'm going to boost him here for 2. So he only takes 2 damage. Thranduil does for that. Okay. And now I'm going to ready him and bring Orphan back into my hand. Right? It's the best thing to do. And now I will defend again here. This guy. No shadow. Okay. And now I'm going to defend here with the Sylvan Tracker. It says attacking it where X is the number of sorcery cards in play. So that's 2. So he dies. Okay. I'm going to play this guy now for 3 using Thranduil's ability. It's combat action. Okay. So now I can do hopefully a whole bunch. This is 2. This is 4. And this is... So look, I can do 2, 4. I can kill this guy. Okay, good. This guy is dead. Okay. I need to do damage to Angmar to get rid of... So I'm going to do 4. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? Oh, I don't think it matters. Okay, so that's 4. It's 3. So this guy does a damage. So I'm going to get rid of this. This thing goes into this. I'm going to put it up here because it's out of play. Okay. Okay. Now we're ready. Draw a card. I get another Sylvan Tracker, which is like great time to see that. I could have done -2, done a damage, got rid of that, and then this, well, I didn't, so that's a bummer. Okay. Oh, see, Thranduil has this still on him. Okay, look, I'm going to bring Orphan in. 1, 2, 3. I can either bring the Tracker or a Marksman. I'll do the Marksman. I have a Tracker in my hand. Okay. Okay. So look, I'm going to either need 2 cards or I'm going to have to reanimate. So I'll probably reanimate. Okay. I'm going to... Oh, jeez. Okay, so I get a Curse Dead. If you don't know what a Curse Dead is, let me introduce you. So the Cursed Dead is, when revealed, put each copy of Cursed Dead in the discard pile into play in the staging area. So I'm going to end up with 3 threat, and then I'm going to probably choose to turn over another card. I don't know. I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of people that I do not want to have to try to defend or kill, but I'm going to, I don't know. I don't have a way to lower my threat. I can lower my threat by 1, maybe 2, but I can't do it by 3. So that's a bummer. Unless this top card is Island Amid Perils, which probably not. I think I'm going to use Galadriel to lower my threat and draw a card. And I do get an Unexpected Courage. Okay, I have to quest for at least 3. So, Orphans 3, and 4, 5, I guess. Okay, so let's see what happens. I get 1, 2, 3. These 3 come out. Okay, and so now because of the Altar of Midwinter, I either have to reanimate something or reveal an additional encounter card. And I can't handle any more enemies, so if I reanimate something, I'm definitely going to need enemies, so I'm going to have to reveal a card and hope for the best. And I get a location. Okay, so, which is okay, but let's see what the location is. Okay, so it's the Sinister Dungeon, and it says Forced. When the Sinister Dungeon is explored, the first player reanimates a random card from his hand and deals Sinister Dungeon as a face down as a shadow card. And then it says discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck, resolve the when revealed effects of any of the sorceries. So here's the thing. I have 7 in the staging area, and I quested for 5, so I have to raise my threat by 2. So whatever I was trying to do here with Galadriel didn't quite work. Okay, I can't travel to this thing, so 4 is stuck in the staging area, and I'm going to end up with 1, 2, 3. So I have 5. I have 5 things engaged with me, which is not fun. Okay, let's do some of this though. Okay. So, highest threat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I will defend with Thranduil here. Let's see. Thranduil, I will defend. Let's see. Where do I want to go? I have a whole bunch of 3s, a 2, and a 4. Actually, this is a 6. I can kill those 3 things. Okay. So I will defend this Cursed Dead with Thranduil. And it says attacking gets +1. So no damage to Thranduil. I will ready Thranduil by bringing Hadamarth back up into my hand. And I will defend this guy, I guess. And it says discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Resolve the effects of any sorceries. I did not get any sorceries. So, okay, so that's good. Okay, so now I will defend with Celeborn here, this guy. +1, so Celeborn takes a damage. Okay. And now I'm going to play Determination onto Galadriel. Not that that helps, but I get to ready Celeborn and Thranduil and Galadriel because of that. And now I'm going to play Henemarth. So that's these two resources. Henemarth gets played because of Thranduil's combat action. So I will use Thranduil to defend this guy. It says discard the defending character. There's no defending character in the discard pile. And then I will defend Daeknar, who's attacking for 6 with the Nath Guide. And no shadow effect, and the Nath Guide dies. Okay. Wow. I was not expecting that. Okay, so this is 3. So that can kill this guy. One of these, there's 5 of these cursed dead in the deck, and I just had 4 of them figured out. Okay, and then let's see. 2, 4. Okay, I have to do 3. Kill this guy. And then I'm going to do 2, 4. Kill this thing. It's Elf Friend. And that at least gets me in a more manageable place here. Okay. Okay, at least I get to cancel a shadow. Okay, so the only thing I can do really is wait. Okay, so I'll do this. So that's 7. The Tombs of Karn Doom. Okay, so I need to do 7. I need to... Okay, so 2, 3, 4. I think I forgot to raise my threat for this round, so I'm at 31. Okay, so this will come out, and I will exhaust Galadriel. I will reanimate this guy. I know that sounds weird, but it's what's going to happen. Okay, so I did 7, 7. I need to get rid of Daeknar. I really need to get rid of Daeknar. Okay, Daeknar's attacking for who knows, too much. That's what he's attacking for. Okay, so let's see. 27, 1, 0. I can't travel. I have all these locations. Okay, so let's see. I'll defend the undead here with him. No shadow. Okay, and then I will play the Marksman of Lorien here. Then I will ready by bringing the Greenwood Archer back into my hand. Okay, and then I'll defend this guy here. Oh, I don't have anything ready to defend. What's he? He's attacking for 6. 4. Did I get rid of a shadow? Okay, well. Let's see. Do I want to get rid of the Greenwood Archer? I'll bring a Nath Guide back up into my hand. That's what I gotta do. Okay, but I'm still defending here. Okay, defending player discards the top 3 cards of his deck. Attacking enemy gets +1 for each different card discarded. I'm going to raise my threat to get rid of that, and I will defend Daeknar with this guy. It says defending player discards the top card of his deck. Okay, so I'm going to play Quicker Than Sight to bring Angmar back into my hand. Okay, and look, this guy is attacking for 4 and lowered his attack. So this guy does a damage and gets rid of this, and this leaves play. That's good. Okay, so now he's only attacking for 5 each round. Okay, and 3. Three does this guy dies. Okay, and then 3 does 1 damage there. Okay. And I get an island amid perils. I get to reduce my threat. I'm going to play this guy to be able to quest. This is a rough. I'll bring out Unexpected Courage to be able to defend again. To do 3 defenses with him. Okay, I don't know what the heck is going on here, but okay, I don't even have Angmar out right now. Okay, so who did I bring out? I brought out an 8th guide to target him, so that's 5. You know what? I'm gonna put the Unexpected Courage on Galadriel. It's more important to lower my threat. And draw a card. Okay, so I get another Handmaiden, which is great, but not great. I don't know. I'm doing 4 here, so if that's 5, there's 7 in the staging area. I don't know what's coming. I hope it's not one of those stupid cursed dead, or else I'm screwed, I think. But who knows? Weirder things have happened. Okay. Ready? I get another Tomb of Carm Dune. Oh, I forgot to discard. Let's see. Okay. I discarded this at the end of the round. That would have been the card that I discarded. Island Amid Perils. So I don't have to reanimate. I forgot to do that. But in the staging area is 10 now. Ugh. Okay. So look, I only can do 9. So I still raise my threat by 1. Okay. I am going to reanimate here. Boink. Okay, and I do 1. 1, 2, 3. I don't even get a break. That sucks. Okay. Okay, I will defend Angmar with the 8th guide. No shadow. Okay. 8th guide dies. I will defend this guy here. It says attacking +1. That's okay. So that's 3. Okay, and then let's see. I'm going to bring out this guy. Lower my threat by 1. Then I'm going to defend with her. Attacking enemy gets 3 defense. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, now what do I do? Okay. I need to do 3. So look, 1, 2, 3. This guy dies. Good. It's a test of will. I need to do 6 to do this, to get rid of this. And that's the last of that. And I can do 3. That kills this, and there's a... Okay. So now, hopefully, I am ready for Angmar. I'm going to leave my threat there. I have to draw 2 cards at the end of the round. 1, 2. This one gets reanimated here. And now I draw my card. Oh, I get a Feign Voices. That's good. And I'm going to draw a second Feign Voices because I get... I'm going to lower my threat here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's good. I can't even reshuffle the encounter deck for... Okay, well, I'll bring this guy out. I'll spend the 1. I'm going to play the Host of the Galathrim. Okay, so all of these guys re-enter play. So I'm going to find... So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so because of this, I get to find an ally. The only really allies I have are the Nath Guides. So the Nath Guide's coming back into my hand. Nath Guide back into my hand. The Marksman of Lorien, both of them are going to target this Angmar. So now he's down to 1 defense. Okay. This Nath Guide is going to target Celeborn. This doesn't... Now I get to lower my threat by another 1. Okay. So now it's time to quest. None of them exhaust a quest. Okay. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 13, 16. This doesn't matter if I do it now. 16 and 5 is 21. Okay. 21. And I get, when revealed, attach Death and Calamity to the current quest, then the first plate reanimates the top X cards of this deck, where X... Okay, so I'll reanimate 1 card. Okay, and then I get a choice here. Well, I'll just take my chances. Highest cost ally in play. Okay. Okay. So that's what I did here. Okay. So now Angmar is attacking for a whole boatload. 6 again. He's up to 6. Okay. Well, okay. Shadow cards. 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay. So I will use her to defend a 2. Who's 2 here? This is. If there's a copy of the defending character, there is not a copy of the defending character in my discard pile. Okay, so that's done. Okay. And then I'll use Thranduil to defend here. It says each undead enemy gets +1 attack, +1 defense. Okay. So that's 3. Still nothing. I will use... I will bring her back up into my hand to ready Thranduil. I'll defend Thranduil with, I'll defend this from 3. There's no shadow. There's a side quest. It's a great place for a side quest. And now let's see here. Angmar. I'll defend here. So, boom. I'll give this guy 3 attack. I kill another Neath Guide. Okay, good. How yummy is that? Oh, do I want to... I'll Feigned Voices that attack. So, and then he gets, doesn't matter, and this guy comes back up into my hand. Okay, right? And that's the best option. So now look, okay, this does damage. This gets rid of this out of play forever and ever. Okay, now I'm going to do 3, this. Okay, so that was Orphan, done. This, Nenya, done. Then this and this is done. Legolas, ugh, okay. Jeepers, this is crazy. Okay, so now it's Angmar's the only one there. Maybe I can do something this turn. Okay, and then I have to do this, so I have to discard 2. And look, I get 2. This is never gonna work out. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna keep my threat. I get to draw my card. Oh, that's good. And I get a Test of Will. Okay, so look, I'm going to play both Neath Guides. That's how I'm going to start. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to target with my Neath Guides Thranduil and Celeborn. Okay, I'm going to do this to see what the card is. It's 3 threat, so I need 9, 13. 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, I have that. Okay, without exhausting anybody. Okay, I'm doing 13. Because these just came into play. So 2, 4, 7, 9, plus 5. It's 14, actually. So that's good. Okay, so this is coming out. And so that is 13 in the staging area. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Attached to the current quest. Okay. I don't know why I do this. Okay, so this is coming out. Angmar is still... I'm just going to have to take the extra... I'm just going to have to reanimate every time. Oh, you know what I can do? Oh, that says Surge. I'm gonna cancel this, the Heavy Curse with the Test of Will. Okay, and then okay. So that's an extra 3 in play. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 16. That's there. Okay, this guy comes down. I have to do 2. I raise my threat by 2. Okay. This is wild. Okay, at least now I can do some damage against Angmar, I hope. Okay, so that's that, that, and that. Okay. So I'm going to play Feigned Voices, bring this guy back up into my hand, and cancel this guy's attack. Okay. And now I'm going to take this. I guess it doesn't matter. So I'm going to defend this. No shadow. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to take this one undefended. Okay, so that's 3. So 1, 2, 3 goes on Galadriel. And then I can ready by bringing an 8th guide back into my hand, and then this guy defends here. Okay, good. It says discard the defending character if there's a copy. There's no copy. Okay, so now I need to do a whole bunch to Angmar if I can. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring this guy out. 2, 3, 4, 6. That kills this. Okay. So this is going to be 5, 6, 9. So that's 4 damage to Angmar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop messing around, Walsh. Just get at it. Oh my god. 2 more allies. So because 2 more allies, I get 2 more of these. Deal 2. Give myself 2 cards. I do get a Tree People and another Unexpected Courage. So I'm going to Tree People. Then I'm going to bring this guy out. And then by bringing that guy out, I have to go find an event. 15. Half my deck is still half my deck here is still off limits pretty much. No, is still allies, which is frustrating because I just keep getting reanimated cards and so frustrating. Okay, so first things first, let's see what we're gonna get. We're gonna get a Surgy. That's great. Okay, so that's going to be a Surgy card. It says attach the current quest, and then it says it counts as a condition, and you increase the cost by 1 if there's a card with that name in the owner's discard pile. So it's a kind of a counter to Steward of Gondor. Yay. Okay, I'm going to bring out the Nath Guide, this Nath Guide, and that Nath Guide is going to target Celeborn, I guess. Okay. Okay. So that's 2, and then I'm going to keep some of this stuff in my hand here. Okay. 2, 4, 7. I'm doing 7. And plus another, that's another 5, so that's 12. How much is in there? 15? Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna, I guess we'll do 13. I'll do 13. And there's 10, 11, 4 is 15. Okay, so I'll do the Heavy Curse. That surges. I don't know what that's going to surge into a Cursed Dead for 1. We all know the Cursed Dead. Okay. So now I have to pick. Do I want to hope that I get an ally? Oh wait, do I reanimate? I just reanimate 1, right? Or, okay, I'll turn over one of these. And I get an unholy crypt. Okay, so I get I have the highest threat cost things out there right now. Okay, so that's another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 21 versus 13. So I raised my threat by 8. It's 42. Okay. Now this comes down. Okay. Let's see what I can do. Okay, so this, then this, then this, 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 this. 6 attacks. Everything's going to cost an extra. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to feign voices. That's going to cost 1. And that's going to cancel this attack. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So now I'm going to do this. And I'm going to defend this. No shadow. Okay, great. Now I'm going to ready. And by bringing this guy back into my hand, and I will defend this. There's no sorcery cards in play. 1 sorcery card in play. So that defends. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to bring this guy out. By bringing this guy out, that readies Thranduil. And he's going to defend this one. No shadow. There's that heavy curse. Okay. So far, so good. I will use Celeborn to defend this one here. It says discard if there's a copy. There's no copy. Okay, so no damage there. And now I guess I need to chump. So I will chump. Boom. And it says defending player discards the top 3 cards of his deck. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I get +1 attack, so that's +2 attack, so that's +4 attack. This guy still dies. Okay, good. That's exactly what I wanted, right? No, but whatever. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 6 here to do a damage to get rid of this sorcery up here, which is phenomenal. This guy just came into play. 3, 4. So that gets rid of this. Okay, there's that. Okay. So now we can ready. So now we do 2 here. 1, 2. And I reanimate Galleon. Pain in the butt. 3. Look, I'm going to put a Neath Guide into play. 1, 2. Like, I do have a lot of firepower in my hand if I can survive. Okay, I get to draw another card. Because of Galadriel, I didn't raise my threat, so that's good. Okay. So I'll do this. I think it's curtains for me. So let's see here. Neath Guide will target Thranduil, so that's 5. Or Celeborn. So that's 5. 6, 7. 8. 13. 14, 15. No matter what, I can't get up to 21. Even if I do the ring, that gives me an extra 1, 2, 3. So that's 16, 17, 18. And I'm at 10, 11, 12, 20. And that puts me at 45, which is my threat elimination level. I wonder what I would have gotten. 1. And then I had to have taken this card. Whew. That was rough. I don't even know what to do. That was long and drawn out. I feel like I had it all figured out. Like, I wasn't doing horrible there, but I think I just putzed around in stage 2 there for too long at the beginning. I needed, I don't know. It's tough. Okay, well, I guess we try it again. Have a great day, everybody.